everyone who had like people under them, those people are no longer like under them anymore. Now you just get paid as like a direct distributor.
I did not know that. I did Excel Communications when I was 19 years old, which is a multi-level marketing company, and taught me a fuck ton about myself, and it helped me determine that I didn't want to get a job, that I wanted to work for myself in entrepreneurship. So I actually like the multi-level marketing things. Like people say like a pyramid scheme, and I'm like, yeah, there are definitely negative connotations that could happen to that, but on the flip side, I had a good experience. I made some money, you know. I don't know if we're going to use this, but
no,
maybe.
It's just, I just like, right? But I think multi-level marketing has, I think there's definitely like, it's not so much the business model that bothers me, because I think like, I mean, sales is sales. Like whether it's direct marketing, whether you're doing it for a corporation, like if you're selling someone else's product and it helps somebody, like why not do whatever? I just get super annoyed with the health multi-level marketing, because you're literally selling people things they don't need. It just rubs me the wrong way. And then they try to like tie in other stuff. Like maybe we shouldn't use this part, but they try to like tie in other stuff like Advocare would tie in like religion and be like something with like they'd associate like Advocare with like also like having good Christian values. And like what? Like this is so messed up.
They're really trying to sell you.
Yeah, or like they come across as like, oh, we're like being your, or even like the financial piece too. It drives me crazy how it's like tying in like you need to buy this $120. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I did Beachbody for like 3 weeks where I like bought the $120 shakes, because it was all like, oh, these shakes, like not only are you getting the shakes, but you're building your future, like so you need these $120 protein shakes. It's like, so yeah.
That's funny. I think everyone's had experience with multi-level marketing. I mean, I have too.
What was yours?
ACN.
What's
it was
that?
like just like electricity bills that get lowered, Dish, DirecTV, water bills, like basically all your bills, you can just get like cut in half. And I mean, it was working.
Why did you stop?
I don't know. I just kind of lost interest. It was too much.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot, like about success and that entrepreneurship too.
It's really difficult to go to your friends and family because everybody, I feel like all multi-level marketing starts with like, okay, go to your friends and family, right? And it's difficult to be like, will you do this for me? You know, and like that's what they're leveraging, those relationships that you have. You know, hopefully they're getting customers through that. But I mean, ultimately, that's what you do whenever you open a business. Like you're going to go to your network first, because that's all you have is your network. So I wonder, you know, I think it's looked at as bad in our society because so many people fail at it. And I don't think that I don't think it's inherently bad. I think that so many people kind of felt burnt by it. But really, did they get burnt by it, or were they not ready for that piece in their life? I don't know. I mean, in some cases, I'm sure it is that they got burnt by it. But in other cases, and I would say most cases, they just weren't ready for the amount of stress that entrepreneurship brings.
They didn't realize how hard it was going to be.
Yeah, it's no joke.
It's not. It's hard. Some people say they want a business, not realizing it's going to be harder than having a job.
Yeah. And it's all up to you. Like, you have all the responsibility for the success, and that stress can be debilitating. That stress can
either makes or breaks you.
Yeah, man. It's no joke.
I mean, you guys are kind of like experienced now. You guys got your own businesses set up. You guys kind of like have been through some trials and tribulations. You guys are still going.
Well, I'm lucky in that I've done it since I was 22 years old. So like, you know, owning bar restaurants and doing that, I've experienced good success, and I've also experienced failure. So like, as I build this new career, this new business, it's nothing new to me. Like, I understand the risks, I understand most of the pieces going into it. So me being consistent in what I do, I know is a big piece of it, and trying not to waver between, you know, like, okay, is this gonna work? At a certain point, it's like, this is going to work. I know it's going to work. It's it's just not going to work the way that I envisioned it working.
Right.
You know, and just being okay with that. Whatever wave the universe gives you, you ride that one to where you want to go.
Facts.
I think that's the biggest thing, is committing to like, this is going to work. So there's any ounce of like, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And that's something I used to struggle with a lot. Like, I keep accidentally falling into like entrepreneurship. Like, I just finally realized it's in my blood and I'm gonna do it forever.
Oh, yeah.
Because for the longest time I would try not to, because I just wanted. It is easier just like going to a job. Well, easier in a sense. Easier in that.
You don't gotta think about it.
Yeah, you have a turn on and turn off point. Harder in that you have to, if you are a true, like, if you're an entrepreneur at heart, harder in that you have to like force yourself to do it, and it feels like, oh my gosh,
Just
this
killing
sucks
your
when there's a
soul.
million other things going on in my brain that I want to do and I could be taking action on. So I just got to, I was going through, I would say like my early 20s, I would like want to make the leap but didn't know how to fully commit to it, and when things felt hard I thought that was more of failure. But then as I failed and learned that you just get back up and keep going, they're actually like, failure is just like, really is just a illusion. Like, it's not there.
It really is.
It's just yes, there are times where things are harder, but then you just keep going, and then like things get easier for a little bit and they get harder and you just keep going. It's just like a cycle of like, keep going, be consistent.
What do you think about, I think one of the hardest lessons in entrepreneurship, Megan was staring in the
Oh, is
mirror.
that Megan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's
So creepy. So I think one of the hardest things about entrepreneurship is it's even more delayed gratification. So when you go to a job and you get a paycheck, right? So like even a job has some delayed gratification, but almost guaranteed, right? So like, you work, 2 weeks later, you're gonna get a paycheck, okay? However, when you're building a business, you can do work
Not get paid.
and not get paid, or not see the fruits of your labor for a year, 2 years. I mean, if you're building a brand, it's not like that happens
Right.
overnight. So the idea that you need to be okay with the delayed gratification of the work that you're doing has been a challenge as I've grown in my business, or in my businesses, and my different. Now I look at it as separate careers, really.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think it depends on also like where you get your gratification from. Because I find even like when I get a paycheck at my, like, even if it's like a job that has no real like true attachment, or I'm not like truly attached to, it's just like a job for a job's sake. It's like, even if I get a big paycheck, there really is no, it's like a very surface level gratification. It's like, okay, great, and maybe now I can, I don't know, go on that trip I was thinking about, or I can do that one little small snippet of like a thing. Where if it's like something I'm truly passionate about, like whenever I'm doing my women's health stuff, it's like, as I'm putting in the work, even just being there, putting in the work and like talking to women, figuring out what works, figuring out what doesn't work, it's like this constant stream of like gratification, because I know like it's like I'm feeding my soul. You know what I mean? I don't feel
I have no idea why you said it like that. It's a very soulful way of doing it. You got a little soul.
Because that's how my soul feels.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta let the soul dance.
Okay. I actually like that quote. You gotta let the soul dance.
Yeah.
Well, heard it here first.
So I just totally to switch the topic, but I just came from
Your soul was dancing.
that was the
transition.
the transition.
Speaking
that
of
we
soul
needed.
dancing, your soul was just dancing.
It was with Key Gollum. So I still don't feel like I can explain what it is. All I know is it's a Eastern way of understanding or dealing with your energy. And when I say energy, I don't even know what that means necessarily.
Yeah.
I just know that I feel it. Like I can feel energy from
It's hard
you
to
guys.
describe.
Yeah, and I'm assuming when I say that anybody that happens to be listening, or you guys understand what I mean by my energy.
Yep.
So this woman, when you walk into the room, her energy is just that of joy and happiness.
I love it.
And I mean, you just feel it. And last week I said like, where you can, so much love where you can reach out and grab it. You can do the same thing where she's around. And as we talked about last week, that's the frequency that's the energy that I want to live in. I want to learn to live in that frequency. So she lives that, and as she walks you through, like half of it's like this physical motion where you're channeling your energy. All this seems very weird to me because I'm a Western, ignorant dude.
Yeah.
But you start to feel something and build something up, and there's a lot of visualization that goes with it. And one point that I wanted to make was the visualization of light energy here, like physical light, however you picture that, and then inviting what you're scared of into that light. So fear, anxiety, things at home, inviting it in and feeling a debt of gratitude to those feelings. Like that anxiety, that helped shape the person who I am, which inspires pride in who you are. Thank you to that emotion that I needed to understand. And now that I understand that it helped shape me, your job is done, anxiety. Your job is done, fear. And from that, just let it go. And she paints a beautiful picture of kind of butterflies flying away. And that concept to me, that fear and anxiety and all those things are an integral part of our growth. Not something to shy away from, but something to embrace, something to have gratitude for. That idea during this Qigong session was immensely powerful, and I'm still processing it because I literally came. I mean, it was the last hour. I was there. So, I mean, thank you for letting me get in my soapbox of what I learned on, Qigong. But
it's kind of like the Stoics too, saying be grateful for even the worst because that kind of shapes your character.
Yes.
So when you feel like, man, why did my aunt have to pass away? Like, I loved her so much. That can teach you about like loving every single moment, before it goes away. Just like kind of like that perspective, right?
That's a really good analogy. Yeah.
I've been reading some Stoic stuff. Yeah, it's very interesting. Now, when you say like let the fear in, and then let the kind of like just let it go, when the fear comes back, do you think it's just a bigger fear, or like is it the same fear coming back?
I think it depends. Like we had, I was talking to Josh about this yesterday. We had, so I go to this lady, I call her my energy lady. She has like a bunch of different stuff. She has like Reiki and I don't know, a bunch of different energy stuff. But she has this like chart and it shows all your the different vibrations or the different energy levels we vibrate at. And so we have like fear, anger, and all that like down towards the bottom. And then the top then is like love, joy, peace, all that. So she said it's important that we like learn to sit in the lower energies so we can learn how to bounce back up to the higher energies. Because once you can fully sit in every like energy level comfortably, then you can come back up to that higher energy. So for example, when I've been like going through a rough time, when I start to feel like anger come in or fear come in, rather than just embrace it and sit in it, for the longest time, I'd be like, I don't want to deal with this, and just be getting more anger, getting more afraid, and think, oh my God, like there's something wrong with me. I can't be here. Like the world's gonna end. But then when you learn that that's just like energy that you vibrate at, then when you really lean into it, then there's really, even when it comes back, there's no like fear doesn't have that power over you anymore. So even when a really big fear comes, then you can sit there and be like, I know this feeling, I know how to sit here, I know if I just sit in it and embrace it and just like let myself be here for a minute, then you'll be able to raise back up. But it's when we constantly are like, like get out of here, fear, that we like just keep freaking out.
Yeah.
What if, I just had this epiphany as you were saying that, what if fear, anger, and anxiety is not a bad thing? What if the reason it gets worse is because it's really trying to help you out?
That's the thing, it's not, I don't
Kinda
think
like how
it is
we
a
were
bad
saying.
thing,
Right,
it's just
but
part of
in
the
my
human
head-
experience.
In my head, in my perspective, it is a bad thing.
Right.
But
I mean,
what if it's not? What if it's just like, it's just trying to shake you, like, hey, we need to do this, we need to do this, please do this. Man, that's fucking trippy.
So every time you feel fear, it's like good.
Good.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's almost part of that.
Okay, what am I learning from this fear? okay, I'm learning, whatever it is, let's learn that lesson. Like, thank you, fear.
Isn't that wild?
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Like, I used to be scared of the dark when I was a kid, and I was just like, man, there's monsters, but now I know there's no monsters, so I'm not scared of the dark. I realized that fear, and now I'm just onto bigger fears, like, man, if I start this business, fuck, am I gonna fail? That's telling me like, alright, you better fucking confront that shit,
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna be like a little boy again, being scared of the fucking dark for the rest of your life.
Ooh, yeah.
Quotes on quotes.
You don't want to be that boy that's scared of the dark the rest of your life. That's fucking great.
T-shirts coming soon.
What's that?
T-shirts coming soon.
I picture like who's the author, like Shel Silverstein, or I don't know.
Of like that poetry book?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Shel Silverstein.
Yeah, I'm thinking like there's a story in it about I don't know. Now I'm going off track. I don't know the story, so now this is.
I know, I'm still scared of the basement. The basement of my apartment building.
Right. You don't want to be that girl that's still scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone's gone down there. It's sketchy. It's not finished. There are monsters in there.
Yeah.
But I luckily
So
run
we
fast enough.
can't fix the world's problems in these 15 to 20 minute conversations.
Luckily I run fast enough. They don't get me.
Is there anything that you guys,
I'm just very grateful to be surrounded by you guys, talking to you guys. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, just blessed, very blessed.
That's something that we can all appreciate. Anything that you wanted to get off your chest?
Let me think. Fear was a good one today. That was a really, because I think that is something that holds us back. So even myself, let's talk about gut instincts.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite things to talk about. I don't know where I'm starting this conversation. But what do you guys think about listening to your intuition over logic?
I feel like if you listen to your instincts, you're going to be having a good time. And once you feel it, better go towards it. Like whenever I feel my gut and I don't follow it, shit just goes bad.
I think that a balance between your logical mind and your subconscious mind is a necessity. And the subconscious mind will do things like add fear or anxiety or joy. That's how it speaks to us. And we need to listen to that, absolutely. And I think that's what our intuition is. On the flip side, we have a conscious, logical mind for a reason. And to completely ignore that would also be a sin. So, in my opinion, finding the balance of listening to both. If you have if I'm going to use an analogy of a good demon and a bad demon, not saying that the conscious and unconscious are good or bad, it's not a bad thing to listen to both. And I think balance is what's needed in that scenario.
Balance is key.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I've had to always work on, because the longest time I would just go always right to the logical side. I used to be super analytical over everything. I still am, but be way more on logically I need this.
Yeah.
But then once I started, then I feel like I almost went to the flip for a while, where I was so much I just started to not even too much, but I started to find my intuition for the first time, and I'm I actually have a lot of wisdom. This is awesome. To guide myself in things.
Right.
But then it's I just want to listen to that part. So
Right.
this feels good. This is
Right.
this is my deep knowing.
That's where I'm at.
But then but then you go and you're wait a minute. Like we were saying before, there is there is a balance. We do have that other voice there for a reason.
Yes.
So you put that so well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I like talking to Josh, man.
Yeah.
Dope. He's very wise,
Well, I don't know.
You're wiser than me.
So I don't think that when you put, I appreciate it. First of all, obviously I take it as a compliment. My reaction is that there is it's not like a game. It's not like basketball, oh yeah, you're a better shooter than me, right? It's just, we have different experiences and then we share it.
Exactly.
And, frankly, I'm older than you guys, and I've had different experiences in life. So, from everybody. Also, my mission statement on life is to acquire wisdom and to share that wisdom with others. So not only is it, I have some age, but I also put a significant amount of awareness on the wisdom that I'm taking in. And because I put that awareness on it, my energy is constantly flowing in that wisdom cycle, right? And so I don't think that there's a lot or a little. I just feel that sometimes it's beneficial to impart the wisdom that you do have, and the majority of the time to listen to the wisdom of others.
Yeah.
So you can package it up and present it nicely to the next person that's going to need that wisdom.
Yeah. I think that's the best type of knowledge, is the one you can share.
Right.
I mean, Seneca said, if someone's going to give me knowledge and tell me not to share it, I don't want any of that.
Right.
You know?
That's beautiful. I think on that note, we're about time.
Boom.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Gene.
Cheers. Yeah, that was fun. I like